Alright, so welcome to the stream. Today we're looking at LBP2 story mode and create mode. And we'll be looking at the logic to see how they did stuff. So like the first level is not play mode, create mode. Alright, so the first level that we're looking at, I chose final test. It's like a boss level. So I assume it has like more logic to look at and stuff. So like this right here is just like, you could tell what stuff is by the tag label. So player, I guess it's just sensing the player. And then it follows all players. Or like that's just a, I wonder why they didn't use a player sensor. Or, and then audio. There isn't an audio sensor, so of course to make your own tag sensors, you just use like a tag label. But anyway, let's see what happens if I wish there was a lock camera mode.
That is a hot
So basically this just triggers like the events. So I made a tutorial on this, like how to make dialogue play like one after the other. It's my quick tips video on how to make dialogue play once and other tips, that video. So you basically just press circle and it goes from like one to the next, and then after you exile like that magic mouth, it goes to the camera or whatever, and then it like triggers some other stuff. So like the text when you close it. I wish I could like color change it. But either way, those wires, they activate something over here. I'm trying to see. It would be easier if I could color change it. That's how I normally look at logic. So the selector, so I'm assuming that opens the door. So yeah, it triggers the sound as well as whatever's up there. So like that. So there's two sounds. But anyway, let's look at the actual like boss fight logic. Wait, no, what's this over here? Sound, impact. There's logic on the square bubbles as well. Yo-yo. Oh, so like the yo-yo is part of the boss fight. Alright, let's let this sequence play out. Then we click the logic. So like according to the microchips, if the yo-yo comes down on the points, they should get destroyed. Makes sense. Yeah, so yeah, that's what's happening. So like if you didn't already collect those points, the yo-yo destroys the points. Alright, so sound over there. And then there's a tag sensor to detect the sound. I don't want to close out anything yet. Oh, in case y'all wondering, this hologram before, I picked up this trick from somewhere, LBP2 Central. The hologram is to make it so you can't shift layer. So like you're not supposed to like be able to go into like the background or whatever. So that's why the hologram is invisible in play mode. It basically just prevents the player from like changing layers somehow. I don't know why the player would even go up there, but I'm trying to see what this is connected to. So they have a tag sensor set to sound connected to something. Oh, the piston. But yeah, the dialogue, closing out the dialogue pretty much triggers other events, I guess. I'm gonna rewind it. Just so I could start the boss fight from the beginning. Wait, I'm gonna color change this. Just so I can see the logic better. Alright, so it is connected to pistons. I figured it was, but I just couldn't see. And then that's light matter, which is pretty much the same thing as dark matter, except it's just lighter. Some people prefer it over dark matter for some reason, but so yeah, it's just connected to the sounds and the pistons. So after you close out like the dialogue, he says like 2 things to you, and after that it just activates a camera and it activates these sounds as well as the pistons, which moves his elevator upwards. I didn't notice these microchips before. And then the randomizer is just like a easy way to do like a flicker effect for a light. Come from CS tutorial on this channel on how to do like a more complex flickering thing if you're trying to make a horror level. But that's like a simple way of doing it. Wait, what are the settings on that? This is like a very basic way of doing like a flickering effect. But yeah, one at a time. I never really messed with randomizers too much. That's like the one logic piece that I like never messed with. I'm guessing there's a player sense over here. I'll pause it right here, so I have a point if you want to. Okay, yeah, like I said, there's a player sensor right here. And that's what activates the thing. And then if I color change this, I should be able to see the logic easier. Wait, what was that set to? Limo. Alright, so this one is basically detecting the half of the screen. So if you're in that half of the screen, then something happens. I'm gonna see what it's connected to by changing the color. Cause like there's a lot of wires we could like see what leads to what easily by just changing the color of certain stuff. Activates that selector, which goes into the timer, and I assume that triggers the boss fight, or that's the counter. I normally set my counters to be smaller so I can tell them apart. And then that just activates the music. I guess it just makes it so the music is permanently on. It's like using a counter. I mean, I wonder why they used a counter and a selector. But anyway, let's do the boss fight now. See the logic for it.
Let's go. Man.
So that's the ending fight. I mean, that's the ending dialogue. And this pretty much creates like a delay between the dialogue. When it changes his expression. Wait, no, hit to follow waypoint. This just makes him like, I guess, leave this stage. I wish this was like Little Planet D where you could like have the highlight tool. The highlight tool would be useful here. Okay. Here's the exit. Oh, so it's sensing Da Vinci when it gets over here. I think this is slightly easier to read. Because all those wires over there were slightly confusing. I'm trying to see what this goes to. Yeah, I can't see what that wire goes to. Alright, so let's see what the levers activate. Oh, they color coded it themselves. But yeah, the levers, I think the levers are like a big part of the boss fight. So I think you just like pull the levers in the beginning, right? So. Oh, must be where all the logic is. But yeah, the side lever logic. That's where all of it is. That's what I was looking for. So then this one that indicator over there must detect when like both levers are pulled. And this basically just fires like a quick pulse, except it takes like 1 second out. 1 frame, there's like 0.1 seconds. Middle button logic. Oh, this is for... But yeah, the selector pretty much just works as like a way to switch between 2 states. I wonder what that's detecting. I'm gonna see. wish I could zoom in like on PS4. I can't see nothing. Cause at least on LBP2 and LBP2 Vita, you could zoom in like with the touchpad. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just like the button. But yeah, this would be easier to see in LBP2. I wonder why they're using two timers here. If they're set to the same thing. Oh wait, no, I do this too. They have a countdown and a count-up timer. It pretty just makes this setup. I use this setup all the time. Having both a countdown and a countdown timer. You could also just use a sequencer. But anyway, having two timers like this set to the same thing. One set to count up and one set to count down. The countdown timer makes it so like, I guess the sound. I'm guessing this is set to like an asterisk sound. Yep. That makes it play for the duration, and then having a countdown timer or a count up timer makes it so it plays at the end, but it looks like they didn't choose a sound here. And then this just makes it so when a sound, whatever it is detecting. So yeah, this setup right here, I use this a lot. But like an alternative to this, it's just using a sequencer. It takes up more thermometer space, like a little bit more thermometer space. Wait, hold up, I'll show you. Cause that's one thing I do recognize. I'll do the logic off to the side like this. In case y'all didn't understand what I meant, so I'll just show you. Cause I don't know what that's detecting, cause like the wire, I can't zoom in like I can on PS4 or on PS Vita. But it's detecting when a condition isn't met or yet. So when neither of these are true. Oh, so I guess when you're not pulling either lever. So when either lever is not pulled or something. Or like when it is pulled. Wait, let me see. I'm gonna look at this side, the logic for that. And see if anything changes. No, that's for something else, I guess. But yeah, this indicate right here detects when both levers are full, which, and I guess this is counting how many times you pulled each thing, how many times you like pulled the levers in and did all that. And this must be for the button. So like when you press the button, like whether or not you pulled the levers doesn't really matter anymore. Like it resets the whole thing. Like I'll test it out just to make sure. But yeah, there's like a small delay, and then it resets it. And then you have to like do the whole sequence over again. And I want to see what happens if you trigger these again. and then it starts like a new face, I guess. I think that's what maybe the other counter is connected to. Wait, I'm gonna see. This one is set to 3, this one is set to 2. But yeah, I'm assuming those activate different phases.
That is how to get to the court, sir.
But yeah, the 3 counters, they could have used selectors, I think. But using counters is also the way to do it, but I think it's like maybe more efficient to use selectors instead of counters. But either way, this is still like the first story road, so they were probably still like figuring out like they're just trying to like get it done, I guess. But either way. But anyway, I was in the middle of showing y'all this, and then I got distracted. But pretty much, this is the thing that I recognize most. I use this all the time. The other way of doing it is to use a sequence. I was talking about that before. We have like 6 more minutes before we have to move on to the next level because there's 6 story roads and then 6 story roads. So it means one level per story road. That's what I decided. But yeah, in case y'all didn't understand my explanation from before, so I'll show you. So check it. I don't know why they're separated into simple and advanced logic and level 1 and 2. But either way, if you have a timer and we have one set to count up, another one set to count down, so I'll just copy and paste the sounds from here, and then I'll just use like a toggle. I'll switch them actually like it's over here, like it is over there. Oh hi Star, thanks for joining. Alright, so we were looking at the story mode, logic, and right now we're on the final boss level. And I was just explaining this setup right there, how they have like the sound setup. That's the part that I recognize most. So like basically this setup right here is a countdown timer, and a countdown timer, and this is like a very useful setup that I use all the time in my own creations. So they have it with sounds. One of these is set to a sound where it's like, if you have a sound that has like asterisk next to it, it means that it plays continuously, and so it's no longer receiving an input. So, and then this one, it doesn't have a sound, but it would mean that it would like, just play once. So I'm actually gonna assign it a sound. I'm just gonna use a toggle, but the toggle could represent anything being on or off. Going back in LBP2 2, I don't know what your first LBP2 game was, but back in LBP2 2, sounds were in separate categories instead of having like a sound object. But yeah, we could set it to this. And then I want to set both of these. At least LBP2 2 still has the R2 selection trait. But anyway, this is what I was trying to explain, so the best way to explain stuff is just to recreate it. So this setup right here is very useful. I use it in my own creations. So I have the toggle connected to both these, and the toggle represents pretty much anything. So this one, it pretty much means for 1 second this sound will play, and then after 1 second has passed, this sound will play. And then this, like I said before, this is a continuous sound. And it doesn't just have to be sounds, it could be anything. It could be animations or whatever. But yeah, this is like very useful. I used this like the other day, I think. But yeah, I'll play it one more time in case you didn't catch that. What am I making? I'm not making anything. I'm looking at the story mode and the LBP2 2 story mode and create mode. Because today is LBP2 2's birthday. So that's how we're celebrating, by looking at the story mode and create mode. If you have a PS3, you can like download these levels onto say like your PS3 and look at them yourself. So like there's this dude named Generous that made all the levels copyable. There's like a few accounts that made the story levels copyable. So you could like really just copy and paste the name of the story level into LBP2 search. But anyway, I'm gonna spend a couple more minutes on this level. But yeah, January 18th. I actually didn't start playing until like April of 2011. So like a few months after LBP2 2 came out, I was playing LBP2 1, and then I probably played LBP2 2 during the summer. But yeah, I was looking at this logic earlier. So DaVinci, at the end of his, this is like the dialogue that plays once the boss fight starts. So after, this is saying that after like a delay of like 1.5 seconds, this dialogue will play. Once you close it out, like once you press the circle button, this dialogue will play. And the reason they don't use a sequencer is because they wouldn't let play. It means that players that are slow readers would just be lost. So they just make it so you can read at your own pace by connecting it. Or players that don't care about dialogue would be annoyed. So you could skip the dialogue, you could read at your own pace. That's why it's connected like this instead of on a sequencer. And then this is the ending dialogue. Once you defeat the boss, it plays this. And then this is a short delay. After a short delay, it plays some more dialogue. And it makes DaVinci follow to a specific tag. So DaVinci exit, as well as the movie camera. And then this tag right here is what it's following to. So it just makes DaVinci follow the scoreboard. But yeah, the logic for detecting if the levers have been pulled is right here. So there's 2 levers that you have to pull in this boss fight. I'm actually gonna restart the level. There's an option to reset the level, so I'll just switch it to play mode and back to create. And then after that, we'll switch to the next level that I chose. It's in Victoria's laboratory. But yeah, I just want to reset the logic. Wait, no, if I wanted to reset the logic, I could have just exited the whatever. Okay, well I could reset it myself. Basically, if I set all this to 0, it's as if the boss fight never happened, sort of. But then that sound is still playing. But either way, in this particular boss fight, oh wait, after we download the level, not re-download it, but wait, but like import it again. And then after that, we're gonna check out Victoria's laboratory. But yeah, I'll just show you that one part. And then we'll do Runaway Train. Runaway Train is my favorite Little Planet 2 level. But yeah, and you see what, to make sense of other people's logic, whether it's story mode or community, it's just to change the color. And like having a basic understanding of logic does help. Like knowing what a timer does. Usually when you see a timer, it's like a delay. So like instead of making stuff happen right away, to like create like I don't know how to explain it, not suspense. But like to create like a pause in the action, you just use it like a 1.5 timer. So like there's like a pause and stuff doesn't happen like too quickly. But yeah, the beginning logic is pretty much just like you play the dialogue, you close out the dialogue when you're finished reading it, and when you close out the dialogue, it causes the piston that controls the elevator to move upwards, and also makes some sounds play, as you could see here. So that's what that's gonna do. But yeah, you can make something happen when dialogue closes simply by connecting a magic mouse to it. So after I close out that dialogue, the elevator moves up. And then the microchip over here is pretty much just detecting if the Da Vinci's yo-yo, when it touches the point bubbles, it gets destroyed. So in case you haven't collected them already, it gets destroyed once you touch the yo-yo. Yeah, when he's talking about the red lights, he's talking about these levers over here. And like I was trying to show you earlier, they're referring to a specific AND gates, which is right here. So like, one lever is on right now, and both levers are represented by the color red. So when both levers are pulled, this activates like a very short delay, and then it basically detects how many times you pulled both levers. And then after you press the red button in the center, it resets the whole thing after a delay, I think. But yeah, as you can see, this is reset now, so now you have to pull the levers again. But anyway, let's move on to Victoria's laboratory. And then I think the second counter, it like activates like a new boss face. Today, like this afternoon, I got new shoes because like the other shoes I got, they like didn't fit or whatever, so I got new shoes. I told them all with my sister and my dad. But yeah, that was cool. I guess we got pizza. I mostly had to wait around for my sister to finish shopping because I don't really like shopping. I never did. But yeah, luckily I had a good book. But like, yeah, I was mostly just there for the pizza and to like exchange my shoes for like a size up. But yeah, Runaway Train is my favorite Little Planet 2 level. Now we're gonna see how it works, like the logic. Oh, and then on Wednesday I start school. Wednesday is my first day of school for this semester. So either tomorrow or Tuesday I'm gonna have to get a new backpack because my old backpack has holes in it, and I need more notebooks. I only have one notebook right now, like one notebook that doesn't already have like writing in it. I need like an empty notebook, 4 more empty notebooks for school. And I need new socks, I guess. My old socks, like quite a few of my socks have holes in them, which makes sense. I've had them for like a few years. But yeah, notebook, backpack, and socks, I guess. And a planner. I'm making a Little Planet themed planner. But anyway, let's see what's happening here. Okay. First thing, probably wondering is what's with the microchips on the roses? I mean, there's probably a lot of stuff you're wondering, but it has like more logic than you would expect for like a simple falling roses thing. I'll rewind it so you can see it without the logic. But like you probably wouldn't expect any logic for like something as simple as falling roses. But yeah, it's really just roses that are falling. So let's look at the logic, 'cause like that could be used to create like a falling leaf effect. You could also copy and paste it, that way I could let the sound not play. And then I don't think I'll have circuit printer on me. Look, I don't have move pack on this PSD. But I'll just copy and paste the microchip over here so I could look at it easier without that sound playing. And I accidentally let the microchip fall, didn't I? Okay, well I'll just place the anti-gravity tweaker on this. But actually I know what I'm gonna do. There we go. That would make more sense. But anyway, we don't need the sound to look at logic, but pretty much what this is doing is it's very quickly switching between these. I think this is backwards. Or it's not backwards. Alright, so for the falling leaves, they're pretty much just using every 0.4 seconds, it's switching between like two angles, is what it looks like. But yeah, they use a gyroscope to set the angles. You could just have them, you could have one gyroscope, place it, and then copy and paste it to get like the opposite angle. You just flip it. And then for the movers, it looks like it's going down. It's going down for both of these. Local space. It looks like the same settings, so down. I don't know why they have two, if it's like doing the same thing. I guess because they didn't want to use the OR gate. That's the type of stuff that I do sometimes. If they didn't want to use the OR gate and they don't have like a permanent switch, it would be the same amount of logic no matter what they did. But yeah, it's pretty much just the rotation that's switching. It's going like back and forth like a rose would do when it's falling. And it switches between the two every half a second or so. But yeah, that's what it's doing. I'll turn the sound back up. And that sequence of events, I think was like just recorded. Yeah, it was just a recorded event where you just like record the action and make it play. And then it switches back to neutral after a few seconds. And then like I showed you before in the DaVinci level, when you close out the dialogue, you can have it activate stuff. So timers are just used for like, so it's like a delay in between stuff, I guess. But anyway, I want to look at the logic for the cakes. So when you close out this dialogue right here, I don't think that activated it right. Wait, what's that timer? And with the material speakers don't have as much options as in LBP2 2. I don't know why these are on here. I thought it would be indestructible, but yeah, pretty much has a grab sensors connected to the dialogue is what it looks like. So if I open up its microchip, you should be able to see. I'll move it down so we can see better. In LBP2 there's this setting called freeze camera, and that would be really useful right now. So when you grab it, it activates this. You could grab any one of these. That's what the OR gate is for, I assume. So it detects if you grab any one of the blocks. I don't know why the player would choose like either these two over this one since it's closer. But it's because they accounted for like every possible option. But yeah, if you grab any one of these blocks, or I guess when you close out that dialogue, then it plays the new dialogue after like, and this just makes it so it plays once. If you didn't have this, let me rewind and delete the counter to show you like what the purpose of the counter is. I made a tutorial about dialogue, in case you didn't watch it, and also so you could see it in action. This is what it does. So the counter does, so it makes it so it plays once, so that way it doesn't play every single time that you pick up a block. But anyway, if you close the dialogue, or if you pick up a block, that's what the OR gate is for. It's detecting all 3 blocks as well as closing on the dialogue. So grab a block. So it pretty much makes this, so the purpose of the counter, if we didn't have like the counter here, if we just deleted it, it would make it so every single time you grab a block, it plays that logic, which would obviously be very annoying, so that's why they have the counter there. Because obviously you don't want him talking to you every single time that you pick up a block. And then it detects when you've like successfully stacked the blocks to make a staircase over here by having that player sensor right here. So yeah, it detects when you're over here. So as soon as you jump over here, because you can't get over here without stacking the blocks. But yeah, that's the one-shot switch in action. If we didn't, like I said, if we didn't have that here, it would play every single time, and that would just annoy players. But yeah, if you see a one-shot switch behind the timer, that just makes it so the dialogue plays once. Oh, and then the logic for this, I'm assuming it's just the impact sensor connected to a sounder. Probably not even that, it's probably just a sound object by itself. It's a player sensor. The reason they have like a player sensor and the impact sensor, like the things are moving in this direction, but somehow if you get hit from the opposite direction, it won't trigger the sound. But yeah, that's what that's for. So when you get hit, and when you get hit from that direction, then it plays the sound. But yeah, it's pretty simple. I'll show it one more time, and then I'll move on. So getting hit from this side, and they just set it to like 180 to detect the angle. And then the impact sensor is just set to player, and the anti detects both conditions are true. And then we have the sound objects, which are set to multiple sounds, it looks like. But yeah, this is like my favorite level when I was a kid. But yeah, I think that's pretty simple. The button just activates. That right there, I think. Didn't mean to do that. Just trying to open up the microchip, not it caused a train crash. Maybe that happens either way. Either way, it looks like when you press the button. Displays that sound. And then that causes the light to turn on. Why did they use both the counter and the toggle? You could use like one or the other. Yeah, they really didn't need to do that at all. Like they could have just used the counter set to one. They did this that way, so like you can't switch it on and off. Like if they only used a toggle, you would be able to like switch the lights on and off, which they obviously didn't want the player to be able to do. But they could have used a counter by itself. But yeah, I don't know why they did that. Like it's really just connected to the lights. If you want a light to only come on once, you could just use a counter by itself. How am I able to do that? I downloaded the levels from ZipIt's website, Little Planet Search. So if you like type in the name of a website, type in the name of the Little Planet 2 level. Say like Renovate Train, the level I'm playing right now. But yeah, these are downloaded levels. But yeah, you could just do it on Little Planet Search. Hold on, I guess I'll show you. Excuse me if my screen goes back for a second. It will be back in like 5 seconds. Okay, yeah, my screen is back now. But either way, if you go to ZipIt Fish, whatever, for a lot of tabs. But if you go to Little Planet Search Facility, you could literally type in the name of any level and download it. I have a tutorial on my channel, so Pipe Dreams is the next level we're playing, I think. But you can download it from pretty much anyone, and then import it to your moon. Again, I have a tutorial on it, so if the process is confusing to you, ask someone that knows how to use computers for help. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. You just download it and then put it into folders. It's easier the first or second time. The second time you do it, though the first time it might be a bit confusing. But yeah, I just downloaded it like you would download any community level, except it's a story level, and some people like have captured this level using the God glitch a long time ago, and they re-uploaded it. This part right here, I remember this. So you don't want to let this hit the floor, and you also don't want to touch the walls. So if you touch the walls, I thought it would also get destroyed. I guess it does. So if it touches this, how does that work? I think this is inverted. Okay, this is inverted. So when you're touching the wall, Either way, when it touches anything, I guess except for the wall, then it gets destroyed. Like as you could see, I throw it at the wall. That's not the wall, that's the light. But if I throw it at the wall, nothing happens, but when it touches the floor. So I guess the wall, so basically what it's saying is, if you touch anything except for the wall, then it gets destroyed. So that's the way they did that. So when you're touching anything, and when you're not touching the wall, then it gets destroyed, and they use splat, and splat was like my favorite effect when I was like a kid, when I was like young. But yeah, you just have to navigate between here without dropping it, which is easy. And then it will do those lights. And somehow I broke the bounce pad right there. But yeah, pretty much does the counters one by one. It's either a counter or a selector. Last time they used a counter. This time they could honestly use both a counter and a selector. My guess is that it's like a row of counters. Let's see. It's a selector. They used I guess for this, since you're permanently destroying it, a counter, like I said, a selector is more efficient, since you, instead of having 6 of these, you could have 6. Instead of 6 counters, you just have 6 ports. And then the first port is just like the default port that is on the default option. And then it just destroys them one by one. So it destroys it in that order. And then nothing really happens after that. But yeah, that just makes it so it destroys it in that order. So I'm guessing this is just like a counter. So if you pick it up, 1, 2, 3, 3 second. Not a counter, a timer. So I'm guessing it's a grab sensor connected to a 3-second count up timer. And also a not gate, I guess. Okay, my guess before I look at the logic is that it's a grab sensor connected to an OR gate. And the first port of the OR gate is probably a grab sensor, and the second, the first port, so it's a grab sensor connected to a counter set to, grab sensor, not gate, timer, set the count up, and that's the first part of the AND gate, and the second one, well, it's definitely a grab sensor. Let's just look at it. But yeah, there's definitely an OR gate. There's definitely a timer. I was wrong on the seconds. It's 2 seconds, not D. But it's detecting if you're grabbing it, and if you're not nearby. So instead of using a not gate, they just inverted it. So when you're not nearby, and when you've already grabbed it, this detects if you have grabbed it. So like I'll show you. So if you grabbed it, it gets destroyed. That's one way it could get destroyed. And the second way is if you grab it, let go. Also, it is a count up timer. But yeah, 3 seconds or when you're no longer near it. So basically when you throw it away from you. But yeah. But yeah, my guess was pretty much right, and then this just makes it stay in an upright position for the most part, so it doesn't get rotated. And then they use splat again, my favorite effect. But yeah, I was close. I just didn't get the player sensor part right, and I thought they used a counter instead of a selector. Like, did I even say that? Can you download story levels on your Moon LBP2 1? Yeah, you can. Generous, the dude that I downloaded some of these levels from, has LBP2 1 levels too. But yeah, you just type in the name of the LBP2 1 levels. So like, I guess the bunker or whatever, or Skate to Victory is one of the levels. And this is a 2-player area. You just gotta like throw each other up, I think. This is a 3-player area, so if you have like, you could like stack, you could like throw each other. So you throw your friend up to get those right there, and you throw your other friend up, and then your 2 friends up there. One of them throws each other up. But yeah, and there's the negativity. Probably an org if she said the word or. You could destroy them by hitting their brains or throwing stuff at them, she said. It's really interesting. I've never seen timers do that before. Okay, let me see what these are set to. Count down. Count up. Then a countdown. So I assume they're set to all the same thing. 0.4, 0.5, 0.1. I'm gonna change the color so I can see better. Oh, this controls the smoke coming from them. I guess I didn't see the smoke because I have the logic. Yeah, I don't see any smoke. Either way, that's what the first timer is for. And then let's see the second one. This one is connected to more stuff. So when this is hit with anything, but yeah, this one thing the timer does is make the sound play every like half a second or so. And I guess it makes this reset as well. I mean, not reset, but it makes it play. Every 5 seconds it makes it play again. Oh wait, I think this might be inverted. Wait, no it's not. This detects when you touch the ground. I thought it was detecting the player. But when you touch the ground, and when a certain amount of seconds have passed, so 0.5 seconds have passed, then it resets that timer. And it's connected to the wings. Not the wings, the arms. The arms are always gonna be active though, so I don't know what that's for. Okay. We have like 1 more minute, then we have to move on to the next level. But yeah, these ones, they set on fire is what it looks like. But yeah, when they get hit with those... Wait, what just happened? I think I got booted. Yeah, that happens sometimes, but I didn't even touch nothing. But yeah, that was weird. Either way, I'll go back to the part I was at before. Touching something, okay, touching the microchips apparently gets us booted. That's really weird. Okay, I'm gonna look at one more section, not that microchip apparently. Maybe another microchip, because I touched the other one and all was fine. This happened to me before when I was editing the introduction level. Okay, yeah, I guess I can't touch those anymore. I'm gonna try a different part of the level. RIP the servers. Yeah, but at least there's private servers, and there's gonna be private servers for LBP2 at PS4 and PS5 pretty soon. But yeah, at least create mode is still there, because like in some games, like I think Gran Turismo 5, when the online for that shut down, they shut down the mode to create tracks as well. Can you get the 2 times and 2 times bubbles by yourself? Yeah, if you use certain tricks, there are videos on how to do it. You could use like speedrunning tricks to do it. Serious to do that. Recently made a video on how to do it. But like it's sort of tricky, but it's possible. Maybe not the 3 times pass bubbles, but definitely the 2 times one. At least some of them, using glitches. But yeah, I think we're almost at the end. I said we have like 1 more minute, but then I just want to look at the logic on these. It's probably the same. I don't want to get kicked from the game again. Or get kicked from the level. Oh, so it's detecting. It's at the bottom or top. Couldn't see the other tag at first, but the bottom one's right here. So basically, once it reaches that point, it just like follows the opposite tag. So yeah, that's, and then these are just the sound effects. This makes it so it stays floating in the air, and this one is just so, I guess it stays facing that direction. And then this is the same logic as before. It's just like a selector, I think. So you're just killing that. You're just doing that in order, I think. Or like it should be the same. It's like it's more complex because instead of just jumping on something. But yeah, this pretty much just makes it do it in order. Hold up. Let me look at this. You're supposed to jump over those. Oh, it does it quickly, I guess. Because before it was like one at a time. So it just activates a very fast timer, probably 0.1 to do that. Counter set so one make sure it permanently stays on. I think this is like a safe blob, a safeguard. Alright, so this is pretty much detecting the same thing. If there's a gem blob, which is those pink round, those are the pink round things. If there's a gem blob over here, or if this button gets pressed, which somehow it's basically detecting if somehow it doesn't get pressed in all the way. They have like this as like a backup. So basically, if a gem blob gets over here, then it permanently makes this go real fast. So it makes it destroy it not destroy it, but set it to fire one by one, real quick like that. But yeah, I think that's the end of the level after this dude. We'll look at some of this dude's logic. Until I get booted, at least. If they kick me from the game if they force me from the level. And this makes it so this starts playing. It starts playing permanently, at least until you reach like a new music thing. It's probably like a new music thing once you defeat this boss. You destroy this in extreme mode. I guess maybe this one that here is probably detecting like when the dude has been destroyed or something like that. And there's just the dialogue for the end, I guess. But we have to move on to the next one now, else we're not gonna have time to do the rest of these. I'm already like 10 minutes over time or whatever. Look at Pipe Dreams. Pipe Dreams is another one of my favorite levels from LBP2. I mean, the Factory of Better Tomorrow has a lot of good levels, but I remember when I was trying to ace all the LBP2 story levels, I got stuck on the one with the bombs. Not this one, but there was one with bombs. I think it's maximum security. supposed to be doing create mode. But yeah, the logic for the sackbots going up the tubes, someone actually made a tutorial on that on YouTube. It's like called Tubebots or something like that. But yeah, you have your standard dialogue logic that I already showed you twice. So again, don't use sequencers. Do what MediaMolecule did and simply connect the magic mouse to each other, and this allows the players to read at their own pace. Because remember, like, some people started playing Little Planet when they were 5. Obviously, a 5-year-old on average can't read as fast as a 15-year-old. So for the people that can't read too well, make sure to always connect the magic mouse to each other instead of using sequencers. And also, some people straight up don't care about dialogue, which is like the opposite of someone trying their best to read the dialogue. So after each dialogue, it like changes expression. So this dialogue plays. I know this is a delay, so I guess after the player spawns in, there's like a 1-second delay. The dialogue plays, and then it does like recorded action. And then he gets angry. And then he turns neutral. So it's a good way of like animating your character's way. But yeah, you could basically, after you close out each dialogue option, he changes like his actions or his emotions or whatever. But yeah. So yeah, him pointing is recorded out action. Him getting angry is an emotion. And then neutral. I'm trying to see what this controls. Connect switch share or invert to open door. Connect the Astrobot 20 machinery powered by the Simstro. I guess it's notes the developers, like when they're working on this together as a team, they made notes to each other. Or like if they were working on multiple levels at a time, they made notes in case they come back. I do this for my own creations. I mean, not all of them, but like some of them. But why do they have it not get connected to it, not get? It's sort of unnecessary. Either way, let's do the hamster thing. Not the hamster thing, the sackbots. All the logic for the sackbots is. Let's look at these dudes. They're a big part of the level. So of course they would have a lot of logic. This is the sackbot up. Like I said, the movement, someone made a tutorial on the movement, so it's pretty much like you have a counter set to 1, so like it permanently goes up. And then it gets reset by a sackbot going out of the tube. But yeah, out of tube. But yeah, it probably detects all 4 directions. Move up entrance, move sackbot up. So here's the initial entrance, and then here's the 4 directions. But yeah, the counter set to 1 pretty much makes it so it permanently moves up. Like it stays constantly moving up. But yeah, I guess that's like all the movement logic right there. Tube Traveler. They did name these, I was wondering. So that's the movement logic, then Sakba audio. I don't really care about audio too much, but wait, hold up, what just happened? Okay, the power went out in my house for a second, or not the power, but the lights. I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, okay, if the stream randomly ends, I don't know what's going on with the power in my house, but I hope that doesn't happen. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the powers. It's weird. I'm gonna set PV mode off for a second. And then showing these dudes. It's the same logic as before. And they pretty much follow me even when I'm up here. But what does this microchip do? I am a sackbot. That's funny. Instead of naming it sackbot, they said I am a sackbot. So pretty much makes it so that sound permanently plays. Or not permanently, it only plays once. So once they reach that area, and they cheer. And we pull that lever. So yeah, they cheer once. If they didn't have that counter there, it would cheer every single time a sackbot passed, which would be like a lot of noise. So that's why they have that counter there. It's like a one-shot switch. And this is where the movement logic comes into play. But yeah, the travel up logic. They have it labeled all nice and neat right here. So basically this one is currently being activated, and so you see the rest of these be activated in a bit. So there's tags running all along through here. It makes the sackbots going the appropriate direction. So this is up, so obviously set to a positive number. This is at the same positive number, but I guess maybe they changed the acceleration. Yeah, they did 50%. And then 10%. Either way, it will go along those. Let me not have my popper out so I can move faster. And then this is the one for moving left. Or right. That's the right direction. And then the one for moving down. Just activated right now. So yeah. That's pretty much it. They detect the tag. And the counter is always active. That way it's always moving. And the one for moving left is active. think this is one. This is probably, yeah, like I said, it's really just tag sensors. They did this in LBP1 as well, where they just have like the tag sensors check when you're touching the ground. Except they didn't have. Wait, no. Yeah, it's tag sensors. I mean, in LBP1 they're magnetic key switches. But yeah, sound effects didn't really change much from LBP1 and 2, like how you activate them. That's insane, but somehow my level is overheated when I'm creating. Yeah, it's story mode, but somehow they managed to keep the thermometer on. The introduction level is not like this. I looked at the introduction level like a few months ago, and it's like overheating like crazy. But I think a level like maximum security, which is that level in the Factory of Better Tomorrow, that level where it's like a 2-part level with the bombs. If it's a 2-part level, I imagine that the thermometer is crazy. But yeah, I think maybe certain levels have like little thermometer things. Okay, I want to see the logic on this thing. This just seems to make him hurl fireballs at me. This is really just the default settings for an emitter. They didn't change this at all. But yeah, this just makes it so I guess he floats. And then this one makes it so it destroys. Rigid connections pretty much means the entire spider destroys, not just the thing that the microchip is on. So like all of the parts that the spider's made of will get destroyed. And then this makes it stay upright, but not too much. If you really want something to stay upright, you should use like a 1000% gyroscope. But yeah, the logic on this dude is clearly more complex than that. It's a lot of sound effects. Like a lot. I never used that many sound effects in my own creations. Like, it's kind of rare for me to use like 2 sound effects in my creations. I always forget sound effects in my own creations. Wait, there's a counter set to 3 for this. Okay, so I guess this one's toggling the direction on enough. What's the direction connected to though? I'm gonna change the color so I can see better. Oh, the rotator. It changes the direction that it rotates every like 2 seconds or so. Well, I think that's what it does. Or like it makes it rotate. Maybe not the direction, but it makes it rotate. So I think that's what it's connected to. Alright, then let's see what's a lot of random monsters. I mean a lot of orchids. So yeah, I guess that's just for the flickering light. That's one way of making a flickering light. Caught from CS did a show on his channel. And the earlier level that we looked at, I think it was the Brainiacs level. Maybe one of the levels that we looked at earlier today has like a flickering light mechanic, but it doesn't have as much logic as this one. It was really just to randomize you. Okay, so when the player gets near activates the counter, set to 1. And then it activates that to make it stay in midair. Well, not mid-air. I guess it makes it fall. So let's see. Wait, how do I get up there even? I'm guessing the trigger is the player sensor. But yeah, this controls like sound effects and the delay that happens. Astrobot audio hub. And then impact. Wait, how do I even activate those up there? Alright, that microchip is really just microchips. I mean, it's really just sound effects. Okay, wait, I want to see the other logic for the for the Astrobot. Alright, so we already looked at these two. This is just sound effects, and this is the movement logic. But this one, these aren't labeled. Sticker active. Oh, I guess there was a sticker switch over there. I didn't see it, because I was confused about why that was there. Oh, the Astrobot's like get stickers for us. If we do like the sticker switch, I guess. So I'm guessing it like grabs on something for like 4 seconds is what this is saying. They also could have used a countdown timer. I don't know why they didn't use a countdown timer instead. But yeah, instead of using a counter and then a timer connected to reset it, they could have used a countdown timer. But yeah, that's another way of doing it too. And then we didn't look at this one. And then stop. This is the logic to make it stop, I guess. 2 stops. And then it would just freeze in place like that. I haven't really seen those tags around though. I guess maybe when they have cutscenes activate, they have the Astrobot stop. I totally missed that, the jump the first time. And I didn't mean to get squished there. Oh, I remember this one. I heard that if you like do the wrong finger, then it plays like a denied sound, the middle finger or something. Yeah, denied. It won't let you see the middle finger. But yeah, you're supposed to make it into the rock sound. The logic for that is pretty much just a 4-port in gate. It's my guess. Maybe some extra stuff, but like the 4 in gate is probably like the logic at its core. Yeah, censored output. It's funny. But yeah, one of these detects the correct one and the other one detects the middle finger. But yeah, that one is the middle finger. Oh, hi Risco. It's been forever. Hope you're doing well. Oh, yeah, I've been doing alright. I guess I got school on Wednesday. Like it's my first day of this semester. The winter, what's it called? The spring semester is starting on Wednesday. So yeah, I got school. I just got new shoes today for school, and then I gotta get a new backpack and notebooks and stuff. But yeah, thanks for joining Risco. But yeah, we're looking at the logic for the factory of better tomorrow. So obviously the middle finger is censored. You're supposed to do the rock sign. But either way, the way they're detecting that is by using indicates 4-point indicates for both. So like when all of the fingers are down, except for that third one right there, it activates the censored sign. And then to activate the correct one, you're supposed to do the rock sign is this one. So yeah, it detects. The reason why they don't have like a 1-port, like a single thing here for detecting one finger, and like a 2-port indicate is you have to detect when the fingers are down as well as up, because the rock sign is 2 fingers down and then 2 fingers up. So it has to detect both possible combinations, not just one. Okay, yeah, that's one. But yeah, it detects both ones. Both when 2 are down and 2 are up. But yeah. And then I have to make my LBP planner. I have to make my planner for 2026 so I can stay organized for the school year. So I'm thinking of making it LBP planner themed. This time I'm actually going with a cool design. Normally I put like random LBP planner stickers on my planner, but this time I'm gonna do it like space themed. So I'm gonna have like the LBP planet craft Earth in the middle, and then I'm gonna have like 4 moons orbiting it. So the LBP planet mainline moon, like the sticker from the mainline games, and then the PSP moon, which is just the same thing as the mainline ones, except for it has like the level dots in the middle, and then the LBP planet carding and create mode trophy, which is the golden moon. And then I'm gonna do the LBP planet Vita Cog moon. So I'm just gonna have like 4 moons orbiting around the craft Earth, and that's gonna be my planner. And then of course I'll post it on Reddit and I guess my YouTube when I finish it. But I just made the design right now. I just have to get my mom to print out the stickers, except she won't do it unless I clean my room. So I have to do that today. My room is pretty much clean. It's just like small stuff on the floor. I'm too lazy to pick it up, but I guess I'll do that today. But Yeah, I got three more minutes, and I gotta move on to the next level. But yeah, after you move down here, time research just to delay the sound. Oh wait, what's on these? Collapse. So like when it collapses. But yeah, there's a tag for the collapse, and like it activates a counter, so like it permanently comes loose. So one of these makes it stay in midair, and then the other one makes it like fall. And then after 3 seconds, it will go destroyed. It's an easy way to make like a bridge that gets destroyed or whatever. You didn't save any Zach, but I have to find more somewhere else. It's funny. I'm guessing he has different dialogue for each combination. So like what is this, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. So that's 1. But yeah, it looks like it's just going down, so let me just skip down here. But yeah. And it looks like he has like different dialogue for each. This is a counter or... I don't know why he has so many timers. He could just use the or gave. They're also to the same thing. No sackbots saved. Few sackbots saved. Lots of sackbots saved. And then I guess that's his dialogue. Based on how many sackbots you saved. So yeah. So I guess there's a tag here. A yellow tag detecting when he's at the end. And then this is just, it detects like which one is true. So yeah, we got no sackbots. So he placed that dialogue. And then this just makes it so like it can't play multiple at once. It's like a safeguard just to make sure it can't play multiple dialogues at once. I don't know why that would happen, but yeah, it looks like he has more dialogue when you save more than 0 sackbots, which makes sense. But yeah, when you end the speech, I guess like the rest of the logic triggers. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of this level. You have to move on to the next one now, so I think the next one is Avalonia. But yeah, I forget which one I chose for Apollonia. Like I forget which animals this one has. Like all of them have controllable animals. But yeah, today I got new shoes and I got pizza. I was mostly there for the pizza. My dad took me and my sister shopping. I didn't want to go shopping though. I just wanted new shoes and pizza. So I had to like wait around for her. But either way, I had a good book, so it wasn't that bad. Oh, create mode. But yeah, you got your standard dialogue level. Again, notice how they're not using sequencers. This allows the players to read at their own pace. You should definitely do the same in your own levels.
I say, that's good. Ah.
But yeah, let's see what's going on in this level. Wait, there was like a note right there. F1 teaching basic pilot controls for bunny speech. I guess this makes him so if he's not on the platform, then he follows it. Or whatever, like somehow, I guess if he gets flung off or whatever. Alright, and this makes it so he's not grabbable, which means you can't slap him either, not that you would be able to. This hologram right here makes it so you can't change layer. So somehow if you were able to get up there, you wouldn't be able to touch Avalon, because the plasmified hologram in the way prevents you from switching layers. I think the robot bun is already like, it's like a story price you can get for like completing this level, I think. But yeah, the dialogue is pretty simple. So it's like after this dialogue has been completed, as well as like detecting other stuff. I think that one detects when you're actually inside the room. Let me see if I'm right. Can't really tell because there's a lot of wires outside of this. Oh, I destroyed the robot bunny. Now I pull it again to get this one right here. Yeah, but yeah, the logic for this thing, I'm pretty sure it's already available as like a prize. And I can't just exit it whenever I want, apparently. Kinda wild to see story mode levels in create mode. Yeah, looks like I'm gonna have to pause it if I want to see the logic. And I won't be able to see it real time, because it detects when I'm outside of the control meter. No text. It looks like they labeled it, or they were about to, and then they were like, never mind. Alright, so the countdown timer makes it play as long as something is active. If player quits, then destroy vehicle. So that's the logic for that. So if you... Okay, so basically the counter set to 1 is detect. It's for detecting if you're even in the vehicle in the first place. So if you have been in the vehicle, and when you're not in the vehicle, then it gets destroyed. So it's basically, I used this setup before, it's pretty much like a release switch detective. It's something that's been triggered, and then the trigger is no longer active. That's what it's detecting. I use this setup when I'm making, like, if you're trying to make like a bow, where you press L1 to like pull the bow back, and then it like fires when you release it. You'd pretty much use the same setup here, except you would connect the AND gate to the reset of this. But yeah, this would be like the same thing as like a hold and release type thing, or like press and release. That's basically what this is. It's a release switch. I use it when I'm like making like character abilities and even like other stuff like that. So yeah, it's when the player has been inside, but it's no longer inside. Alright, so that activates the slam attack, is what that looks like. If player grabs foot, then kill player. Why can't you grab its feet? I mean, I guess that's kinda weird. I guess if you... How would I even grab its foot? It like... forces me in there before I get a chance to do it. I was trying to grab its foot. No, I actually want to see if it's possible. Can I grab its foot? Nope. Spamming R1 right now, so really spamming R1, but I can't grab its foot. I don't think I've ever seen a player get electrocuted by grabbing its foot before. Like, why is that even a thing? Why don't they want me to grab the bunny's feet? Like, why is there an electrocution measure for in case I do? That's weird. What's even the point of that? I mean, I guess if some player like touching feet, you can't do that in this level. I don't know. Why would anyone even think to touch the bunny's feet? Hi, what we investigating? We're looking at the Avalonia level. Like pretty much any of the logic that's in here. Oh, I think that's what they mean by touching feet. They weren't talking about the player touching the feet. I think they were talking about like... I thought it was a grab sensor. Maybe I was mistaken. If player grabs foot. Again, why is there a thing for that? This right here is for the thing getting electrocuted if it touches the electrocution, but But yeah, right now we're just looking at the logic for the robot bunny and any of the stuff associated with it. Vehicle. Oh yeah. And apparently this makes it so the vehicle could collect stuff as well. So like when you're actually in the control nader, it makes it so I think what they're doing here is I didn't know you could connect stuff to point bubbles. I mean, I guess I did. Let me try that out. So if I have a square bubble, I could just connect stuff to it apparently. Okay, yeah. You could connect stuff to the point bubbles. But yeah, that's how you make like vehicles. If you have like a vehicle, or apparently that's how you make controlled objects collect point bubbles. You literally just have an impact sensor set to the tag that's on the vehicle, and you just connect that to the point. And then this is just so it floats in midair. But yeah, it's not working in fate mode for some reason. But yeah, it would basically just collect the point bubbles if you're in play mode, I guess. Wait, what is that? That thing said. Hold up, my screen is very small right now. I don't know why my thing said move avalanche to small jumps required section. I guess that's what the player sensor. They're just labeling what the player sensor is for the other immediate molecule members. I'm gonna set my thing to full screen. Okay, there we go. Now I can see my screen. Well, that's pretty interesting. I didn't think such a small detail like collecting point bubbles needs logic like that. Yeah, I didn't know that either. Until today. It's me, harassment. Hopefully for a little, yeah. I might invest the jump. But yeah, that logic, that player sensor just makes it so Avalon moves when he's supposed to, I guess. But I'll show you what I mean. So this player sensor is active right here, right? Well, this is the logic for the waypoint controller. So if I change the color of this, there's probably like at least quite a few tag sensors, I mean player sensors. Connected to that. I'll check that out later, but yeah, so many wires. Yeah, I'm just trying to see what it does. I've learned floating. I guess we just activated like the last dialogue. But yeah, the waypoint is just to make sure he moves to the right place, I guess. But yeah, the logic for this obviously involves a score sensor. But let's see what else. Probably an impact sensor or a tag sensor. Okay, there, I was right. Impact sensor, and of course a destroyer. So yeah, very simple. I'll explain it anyway. But like, they pretty much have a thing for the slam attack, so that way it doesn't activate when you jump normally. There's a tag for like when you're actually like pressing R1 for the slam attack, which activates the tag on the thing. And then obviously this gives the score, and then this does the sound. So yeah, this is pretty much like the most basic form of logic right here. It's a single sensor connected to stuff. Slam attack target. Wait, I want to see the logic for that. Oh, that's the logic for the checkpoint. The checkpoint restores your health, apparently. And then the timers are just to rotate it, I think. But yeah, I was looking for the slam attack thing. I think it's in his foot. That would make sense. I think I saw it earlier. Yeah, there we go. So it's pretty much you have R1 wired to a tag, and that activates the slam attack. And then danger is what activates the electrocution or something. I'm guessing they had like a tag sensor that was set to like a very large range to detect when all these are gone. That's my guess. But yeah, an inverted, it's not inverted. But yeah, that's what those are for. Oh, hi. Seeing the logic words, there's so much. I wasn't well versed in logic when I was younger, so thanks for the explanation. You're welcome. But yeah, this right here, so it basically detects everything in this range. I'm trying to see what else this leads to. And when nothing in this, so when you destroy all of them, it plays the music. So when there's no targets, so when you destroy all of these, so when none of these are present, then it plays the music, as well as raising the door. So that's just a simple forwards backwards thing. Wait, I didn't look at the logic for this part. Change direction. Oh yeah, basically it looks like there's tags on the floor that makes it change direction. And that causes the toggle to turn on and off. But yeah, it's basically placing positive number makes it go right, negative number makes it go left. And then this is just so it faces a different way. And the logic for this section is pretty much when you do the slam attack, there's like a very short delay, a tenth of a second delay, before it gets destroyed, and it plays like a sound effect, and gives you points. How do I stream on your PSD? Oh, I use a capture card, and then I just connect it to, like I'm using like there's like a cable, I don't know what it's called, an HDMI cable. Like it's normally connected to this HDMI switch thing that I have, but I just connect it to my capture card. It's like a cord that goes into my computer. I don't know how to explain it, but and then I just use OBS to stream. So I'm just streaming through OBS right now. But yeah, the capture cord goes into the cable thing goes into my PSD. There's different capture cords you could buy to stream on PSD, like Elgato or whatever. But yeah, basically it's just like on my computer, like the PS3 image is on my computer. Okay, thank you. You're welcome. Okay, so left waypoint. Open doors. Eject player. And then I guess it changes the audio settings to make it sound like either echoey or whatever. Yeah, I figured they didn't have all of these. I was like, the track sounds kind of quiet. They just have like the main part playing, I guess. So when I'm near here, alright, now we're gonna look at the logic for this dude. Or I guess it's a she. I think this detects when I'm inside. But yeah, it looks like there's just a lot of like short delays for stuff. I wonder if it has the same logic as before where it ejects the player if you're not inside it. Okay, yeah, it has the same logic. So like if you're not inside, then it destroys it and ejects the player. Then sure tracks are my favorite. I love how you could choose which instruments to play. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like if you have like a part that the beginning of your level, if it's like calm, you just have like one instrument track playing, and then like when you get to like a part that has like tricky obstacles, you could like make like more instruments play, like the drums or whatever. Alright, so here's the controls. This detects if it's active and then inactive. Player control jumping. This will add jump force for max time while player is still holding jump. These counters are timers. 0.4. If feet on the floor or on the floor in the last few seconds. Alright, if I could jump into here, I could see the logic. Real time like this. Okay, so this is the jumping logic. Now we can see it in real time. Alright, so like what this org is detecting, I guess based on what I'm seeing here, is when I'm pressing X. So like when I'm not pressing X. So I'm really holding X right now and it's jumping. So yeah, it basically just makes the sound play, I guess. But yeah, when I'm not pressing this, it will reset it, I guess. Okay, let's move on to the next section. Oh wait, he had more logic. I'll look at some of it quickly. So I think we have like 2 more minutes before we have to go on to the next level. There's 6 story roads. Like sitting and jumping animation. I'm assuming this controls rubber bolts. I already opened that one. Alright, I gotta run some errands. Hope the rest of the stream goes well and that you have a wonderful day. Thanks. You too, Risco. And the legs walking animation. Oh, this is basically just make it. Well, it's gonna just turn it on and off like every 0.2 seconds or so. And it's just gonna alternate between rubber bolts, I assume. Why is that one all the way over there? Touching dangerous stuff. The restore health tag is at every checkpoint. But yeah, just place both these sounds at once when you're touching dangerous stuff. It's destroyed right away, I guess. And then the last one is if any legs fall off, then deplete health. Okay, so it does have health. And then did I read this one already? Okay, I think I did. Oh wait, I want to see the logic on this. It's probably not that much, but... Oh wait. I already had this open. Work rate. So I think when you press R1, I think that's R1. Makes it move right. And it basically makes it not float. So you have your supersonic work or whatever. And I think this is a danger tag. But yeah, if we touch this, obviously that will go down. But yeah, the selector is pretty much deactivating that right here. I'll show y'all again. But basically, when you have your supersonic mark, it deactivates it switches to selector, which makes it switch from like inappropriate to which turns this off, which means it will like pretty much like be able to like go in place. You can't push it simply by jumping onto it. You have to bark at it. But yeah, this one makes it move right, and I'm assuming this one makes it move left. And both directions seem to have a delay. This one moves both left and right, which is why it has both. think this one has the same logic, but let me check. Well, this one has simpler logic, I think. Yeah, these don't need to be in midair. Like, they're not floating. Like, you can't, like, if you, the reason why they don't have, like, anti-gravity sensors here, but they had them over there, is because over there, like, it was, like, to prevent the player from, like, bumping into them by simply jumping onto them. But, like, over here, you just wouldn't want to bump into them because electricity is gonna kill you, so you have to use your barks to move it. But yeah, right there they just have the thing, the selector and anti-gravity trigger to make it so. Let's see, wait, let me try that one more time. I wonder if it's possible to push it over there. Oh wait, no it isn't because of the timer. Each time you bark at it, it causes a 0.2, after 0.2 seconds it will become like not movable again. It will be like static, which means like it can't move. So like if I tried bumping into it, it wouldn't work. Like I could bump into the other ones. If I really wanted to hurt my dog, I could, but you see, I can't really move it because it's set to this, so like I could only move it a little bit. So I have to bark to move it. So that just makes it so 0.2 seconds later, 2 seconds later, it just makes it activate the anti-gravity trigger again. But yeah, that's what I was trying to show y'all over here. Like it doesn't have that logic because you simply wouldn't want to push this with your dog. You have to bark at it or else you're gonna get electrocuted and damaged and all that. And this one has similar logic. And that just makes it so it's moving right forever, like permanently. Well, not permanently, but like until it touches the wall, I guess. Like the wall stops from moving. Glorified tech demos level. Yeah, I heard a lot of people didn't like the Aflonia theme because it had like too much controllinators and they like it playing a sackboy. Oh, so yeah, you could like bark at these as well. But yeah, it's not just the orange things you could bark at. It's the other things. It's the round things as well. So you're supposed to knock this off with your supersonic bark. I'm gonna wall jump up here. Using anti-gravity trigger to force players to engage with the mechanic. So cool to see game design reflecting things like that. Yeah, that is cool, because or else they would just like push it and like totally ignore the bark. Except for the ones that get electrocuted. And then I think this one had the same logic as before, but let me check. Like probably the same logic as the ball. But yeah, the same logic, and of course the danger tag. But yeah, I think it's just the same logic. I have to move up onto the next level now. So I have like 2 more levels to look at. But yeah, I'm pretty sure after that it's just like the level. It's pretty much over. But yeah, I don't think there's any more unique logic after this point. I think it's like all the same kind of stuff where it's just like the barking mechanic. And like special dialogue at the end, I assume. But yeah, we have 2 more story roads to look at. And fun fact, if you're like me and you forget to delete levels after you finish playing them, the loading screen will make it longer. It will make it take longer to import levels. So yeah, now we're gonna have to wait like 30 seconds for it to import. Normally when I'm playing levels, like community levels, I import a level, I play it, and I have like a free space or like a free space or 2, so I could just like play levels right away. And then after I import a level, I delete the one that I just played. I don't do what I just did here. But I let it all fill up. I try to keep at least 1 free space. That's a trick I learned. LBP2 1 doesn't have that issue when you're importing levels. The delay isn't as long. It's like a 5-second delay, as opposed to like a 20 or 30-second delay when getting to the import menu. But yeah. Yeah, seeing the levels is so cool. Yeah. Okay, so this one, Eve's Asylum is next, I think. Patience or Virtue. There's a lot of good levels in Eve's Asylum, so I wasn't really sure which one to choose. But this one has like a cool title. I don't know if this is the one where you put out the fire with water, but if it isn't and you're curious about that, some dude actually made a tutorial on that. I forget his name. I think it's like NK827 or something. But yeah, it's like putting out fire logic. It's pretty much just a counter set to reset, a counter set to 1, and then you just reset it. Like you have your projectile sensor connected to a counter set to 1, and then that counter is connected to a danger tweaker set to fire. And then he also made a tutorial, I think, on spreading fire. But yeah, I think this is the level. Create mode, not play mode. This is one of the levels that overheat. The introduction level did the same thing when I looked at it a few months ago. But yeah, basic dialogue. I'm not sure if you got my dialogue explanation from before. But basically, if you're making dialogue for your own levels, don't put them on a sequencer. Let the player read at their own pace. Just connect them to each other. Like you could connect this to this, but don't put them on a sequencer. That way you allow players to skip the dialogue and to allow younger players to read at their own pace, because obviously an average 5-year-old is going to read slower than a 15-year-old on average, of course. Or like some people just want to skip the dialogue altogether. Could have sequencers for some stuff, but like only cinematic stuff, not dialogue. Or if it's a movie, of course you could have sequencers, but like for small cutscenes like this. I guess that's just the movie camera, so whatever. And then what's this dude up to? Oh, dialogue. Oh, it's just a barking sound effect? Wait, is that like a sound or what? Oh, okay, so apparently here's like a cool trick. If you're looking for like a particular sound, I just found this out right now. If you're looking for a particular sound, because I'm pretty sure the barking in the sound object doesn't sound like that. Yeah, if you're looking for a particular sound, instead of using a sound object, you could really have no dialogue, but you could have it set to gibberish voice, just no dialogue and display subtitles apparently. I didn't know that. Let me actually try that out on like a different sound. I'm gonna try that out. I think it only works for the sequencer, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna try that actually, because I didn't know about that until now. So they're using the Magic Mouse, like their gibberish sound effect as a sound. I did not think about that, but then again, I never really think about sound effects until like last minute. Display subtitles, yes. Speech, yes, and I'll choose a random one. Oh, and the way I'm switching this up and down is just by using my right stick, by the way. So, but yeah, you could pretty much play it like a sound effect if you use a sequencer, apparently. I didn't know that. That's cool. And then of course you could like make it play longer without having to stretch it out if you want. You just can't change the volume. That's the only downside. You can't change the volume of these. At least I don't think you can. Maybe with the global audio speaker. But yeah, this is like extra sound effects, which is cool. I think LBP2 3 has even more. But yeah, it's a cool way to add extra sound effects to your level. Okay, so like I said, like I predicted, it's really a counter. I didn't predict the timer. Wait, no, I did the projectile sensor. That's what it is. I forgot what that actually looked like. But yeah, like I said, it's really a projectile sensor connected to a counter connected to a tweaker. I mean, I didn't predict it. I saw it in this dude's tutorial. But yeah, and then it's just inverted. So one that's not active. The fire is whatever. So it'd pretty much be like this. Or like when you haven't sprayed it, that's what inverting it does. So like by default, it's on fire. And of course when you spray it, it goes like that. I'm guessing that's for the piston. Okay, yeah, that's for the piston. But yeah, when all the fire is put out and when you're standing here, then the piston goes down. I think that's what it's exactly. So you had to shoot the elephant's arms. Instead of inverting it, they could have saved an extra logic piece by doing what they did before. Like, let me show you what I mean. Instead of doing it like that, what they could have done is like, what is that green tag and eye sensor thing that follows the player for? They use it as like an alternative for a player sensor. I don't know why. It's pretty much a player sensor. It was in the DaVinci hideout level as well, but it's pretty much like a makeshift player sensor, but they have player sensors right here, so I don't know why they're doing this exactly. But yeah, it's pretty much an overcomplicated player sensor. That's what it looks like to me. Because if it always follows the player, like that's basically what it is. It doesn't even have any logic on it besides this. But yeah, this is a follower. It follows the player. And it pretty much follows the player at a very large range. It will snap to the player. It's at its highest speed, highest strength. A very high range. Not the highest, but very high. But yeah, it looks like a makeshift player sensor. I don't know why they just use They don't just use a player sensor. Player sensors are clearly invented since this, like, they were invented as of this level, but like, yeah, overcomplicated player sensors. Here's what it looks like to me. Like a tag sets of players unnecessary. But anyway, like I said, they could have saved one piece of logic simply by doing this, like they did before. But actually, I think I understand why they did that now. The not gate is for something else in the level. I didn't realize that. But yeah, if you don't have anything else in your level, you could just use the invert setting on the danger trigger. Cause I'm pretty sure if you don't have anything else in your level that the not gate is connected to, you could just like use the danger trigger by itself. But yeah, let's see what this is connected to. It's connected to these two over here. Okay, let me see what that does actually. Cause why are there two of them? Yeah, probably. Oh, I think it's filling the prizes out when you put the fire out. Yeah, probably. Yeah, that would make sense. I was just confused about these danger triggers right here. But yeah, I didn't think about the bottom. But yeah, maybe they're, instead of being connected to those, they're connected to a piston. I mean, the winch maybe. But either way, let's move on. This is the sequence that pretty much makes the dude go from happy to sad. He has his own logic. I mean, just from sad to happy. Boom has been extinguished sound effects. Being a little LBP2 /3 or past 2 must have been really annoying with how laggy and messy LBP2 levels are in the game. Yeah, I guess they got used to it over time though. Okay, so like when that hasn't happened yet, so when you're near this dude. Wait, how big is that player sensor detecting? Oh yeah, so when you're near him, and when basically you haven't put out the fire, he's scared. And then when you have, he's oh wait, this is the recorded action, and then this is this. I guess this is the default, but yeah, he does the recorded action, but like by default he's scared before you come near him. But then once you get near him, he does the action. This thing right here is cool. Wait, did I just go through that? Sweet. Projectile sensor set to 1, and the counter set to 2. unless that was on by default. I don't see how that works unless it was set to 1 by default. I'm gonna check that again though. Alright, there we go. So before you shoot it, it looks like this. Oh, I guess that activates it. This is just something I recommend. I never knew this was possible. This is sick, insane. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You download the planet, you download a level on PS3 or whatever you download levels on, or private servers is an option as well. And then you just like search up the name of the level and you can like see it on your moon for story levels. It's good for like learning how logic works. Cause some of this stuff like so far today I learned that one of the things that I recently learned like 5 minutes ago is that you could use sound effects. You could use the magic mouth sound effects on a sequencer. If the sound effects thing doesn't have what you're looking for, the magic mouth used on a sequencer, you could use these as sound effects. If you set it to display subtitles yes and just type in notes and dialogue. I think it only works on a sequencer, but I didn't know that till today. But yeah, it's good for learning logic. Oh, I think I get what this is for now. I think. So I'll pause and then shoot this. It does it like automatically, not that the player could tell, but pretty much yeah, it's sound effects. I was just confused about why there was a counter and projectile sensor. But either way, I guess it makes it so it only plays once as opposed to every time you do it. This tag sensor isn't set to anything. And this is just sound effects, it looks like. They have the same setup as before with the counter and the what's it called? They're making it so only it takes one droplet to destroy the fire, I guess. But yeah, they're just setting it like in the beginning of the level, they just set that to inverted. I didn't realize that mini was over there. Oh, I want to see the logic for the minis. I mean, I didn't have to rewind. I didn't know they'd be spawned. I don't think they have much logic. If they have some logic, I guess. I thought it was really just gonna be like just one of these. But yeah, when it's within range. And when it doesn't have a tag called flea, I imagine there's a flea tag somewhere. But yeah, this makes it follow you. And then if you're not in range, then it just like stays still, I guess. But yeah, when you shoot it, once it gets destroyed, and it would see points. And this is just the sound effects. Yeah, it's patience or a virtue. You're right. Patience or a virtue. It's like one of the cooler levels, and I mean, Useless Halem is like one of my favorite themes either way, but I think this was like my favorite level from like this pack when I was a kid, like from the story mode. Same logic as before, I'm guessing. But yeah, I think this is really just on a piston. If I'm right, it's probably just a piston. Yeah, if you're wondering how they did that, they just have like a thing. This is hiding the piston, but that's pretty much what it is. That's how it's getting longer. They just have a piston. Set the forwards backwards. Yeah, I think that's the same logic as the dude trapped in the thing. Wait, what's this over here? Oh, I think that's to make it so when both leaves are extinguished, then the wood is extinguished as well. Maybe I have to make sure, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Oh, I think to save thermal space, they made it so it's only on fire when the player's actually near it. I have to go, unfortunately. I think I'll watch the rest of the stream as the VOD, so have fun, bro. Thanks. And thanks for joining. Have a good rest of your day. But yeah, my guess was... Let me move this up so I can see better. The game camera's getting in my way. But if I move this up, I should be able to see it better. I don't know what my favorite level in the whole game is. Probably Fireflies when you're having fun, or so the controls for the Negativitron. They're both fun. That's cool. Yeah, I couldn't really decide on my favorite level for Use Asylum, but like this is one of my favorites. I don't think the tree was ever on fire, or was it? Like, what is that microchip even on? Okay, if I pause this. Yeah, it doesn't even look like this is on fire, so I'm confused about what that's for exactly. I also did a preview mode so I could see better, because maybe it is, but I just can't see. But yeah, I think this is the same logic as the other dude. The other dude that was trapped. But yeah, it's the same logic as the other dude. Wait, what's this right here? It's weird, I can't even see that. Fly. Oh, it's the waypoint. I guess it like spawns in the waypoint or whatever. I think it's activated by that, I think. So the tag is probably somewhere over here. Probably. Oh, I think they're using the same thing they're using the Victoria level for the thing right here. They're probably using selectors or... Wait, no. I bet they're using a selector and then counters for this. Wait, no, they're using emitters. Okay, yeah. I was thinking loop point entity. They're probably not using opacity tweaker since they don't exist. They're using emitters. Okay, this is new. Oh, I think they're using counters to do this. So this is probably a counter set to like at least 5 for this one. I know that's the timer. I was just trying to see how they were making it go in order, because like in the Victoria level, it was like they were just using a selector. But yeah, it's probably the same thing. I'm gonna color change this and I can see better, I think. I know it's probably the OR gate. But yeah, it's probably the selector like they were doing before. But yeah, they're using a forwards backwards timer to make it so when it's no longer active it does that. When it's no longer active it goes down. Wait, what's the timer for though? I'm gonna see. Just for the wobble, I guess. I'm gonna set this to PV mode for a second. Okay, for the stack bots here, the logic is probably a recorded action. They probably used the Astrobot recorder for this one. So when you sense one of those balls, the Astrobot pickup, it plays the sound and then it does the action. And then this is just like its default action right here. Yeah, the default is him standing still. They don't have him doing the action all the time because that would take up extra thermometer space, because recorded actions take up thermometer space. So having moving objects in your level does, at least. And the logic here is different. But yeah, I think they pretty much just added an inverted thing to make it so it's on fire. Overall, it's pretty much the same as before. And then it gets reset. The impact sensor detects the fireball. So ignite. And then that resets it. Doesn't matter how many times you shot it, it just resets it. I wonder if there's any logic on these dudes. Alright, so that makes it move forwards and backwards a bit as, not left and right a bit as he's jumping. Alright, so let's see what this one does. Alright, same as before. Well, I didn't look at this one yet. So if any one of these are hit, then it turns on the hologram. Is what this is saying. So if any one of those 4 pinball things are hit, after a 4-second delay, it will turn on the hologram. But I gotta go and have a good day or night and stream. Oh, thanks, you too. And thanks for joining. So what's the other port detecting? detecting something all the way over here. Oh, this other player sensor. But yeah, these are just pistons at the different lengths to form the staircase. But yeah, I think it's similar logic as before. And this is the same setup as the other one. But yeah, that's just bigger versions. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of the level, as well as the ending dialogue. There's a quick dialogue sequence between the two, and like before, there isn't a sequence used, as you could see. No sequence was used, it's just dialogue in between each other. The player still gets to read at their own pace. But yeah, they just connect it, so like if one closes out. So I could read it at my own pace or whatever, I could like skip through it. Instead of it, my reading speed being forced by a sequencer. Okay, the last level is one from the Cosmos theme. I think it was Gabutron, or Gobutron. Wait, I'll have to check. Oh, it's this one right here. It's a 2-part level. This is pretty much just either sequencer or selector. Either one could work. But yeah, it's just a randomizer to create that hologram effect while he's talking. I'll rewind it in case you didn't see it, but yeah, it's literally just a randomizer connected to the selector input. And then it just turns off. I think they're turning off the microchip to turn off the effect. Okay, yeah, that's what they're doing. But yeah, the effect is like on as soon as the player gets near, there's like a very short delay. But then once you finish all the dialogue, once you close out all the dialogue, the effect turns off. And then here's the effect right here. Yeah, like I said, randomizer and selector ports wired to each frame. And what are these tags? Peekaboo. Or Piku as they spelled it. I want to see the logic on him. So this pretty much means that like this is like on by default or whatever. And those are just the sound effects. So after you close out that dialogue, it flees. So that's what that's saying. Okay, I'm gonna look at the logic on that now. Okay, so here's the monster dude. And then the logic for that. Wait, I think that's detecting when all his supports are gone, I think. Yeah, so when all his supports are not there anymore, then it gets destroyed. You get all the points. Yeah, that pretty much makes the sound play whenever he goes down. I think it's what that thing is saying. And this dude probably has similar logic. All of the stray characters have like a lot of logic. I mean, not a lot of logic, a lot of sound objects. I don't have this much sound objects in my own projects. I shouldn't have been looking at logic while on bumps. Alright. Wait, I didn't know the bombs had a microchip on them. It's probably just a tag and maybe some other stuff, but it shouldn't be much. Okay, so when you grab it, it moves upwards for 2 seconds. Wait, let me see that actually. I don't think it's moving up. I don't know what that's doing there exactly, but it moves left and right, I guess. I guess maybe it does something for like maybe the physics. But I didn't notice it moving left or right. Or like in one of the directions. I'm gonna look at the logic again. The stray bomb is probably a thing on the floor. Or maybe on that monster thing. Bomb cleared. I think the logic for this dude is similar to before. And that just randomizes the sound. I'm gonna see what's over here. Oh, that's for the mini. Why did I get in there? Wait, is it for the mini or for me? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was for the mini. I don't know why I didn't spawn in. But either way, the logic for this getting destroyed should be pretty simple. Okay, yeah, like I said, it's simple. It's like when the supports aren't there anymore. But the blue ones are. I wonder where that tag is. Well, either way, it gets destroyed. Oh, these are the supports. Oh, hi. Thanks for joining. But yeah, right now we're looking at this level Full Metal Rabbit. But yeah, let's see this in action. Just trying to see where the blue supports are. So I saw the yellow ones, but okay. So if I grab a bomb right here, and if I throw it over here, wait, I already have the gravity. Why did I go back? I guess it detects when that gets destroyed. This is like polyester or something, right? Oh, so it's detecting when the polyester squared it gets destroyed. That's the support. This looks like polyester, like some material, or cardboard, something that gets blown up easily. So it's detecting when that's gone. So when either one of these supports are gone, then this gets destroyed. But yeah. And I wonder what the logic is on the fireball. The sizzle audio. I wonder what this one's for. It makes the enemy look at that tag. The back sensor is successful when anything detects it. Wait, I'll pause it. And then timing, right. Alright, so when you jump on this thing, it gives you points, but I think there's like a short delay. So yeah, there's a short delay, and then it gives you points. So it goes down quickly, and then it gives you points. But by default, it's floating. This makes it float by default. And then I think these are just the sound effects. But yeah. It's floating by default. When you jump on it, there's a short delay, and the reason for the delay is so it has time to go down before giving you points. And they're using the same system as before with the polyester. It's detected when the polyester is destroyed. So when you destroy that piece of polyester, then the entire thing blows up. And you get points. You're gonna have to look at part 2 of the level pretty soon. Okay, let's see what this does. It's just sound effects. So that makes it squash a set. So if I lure him over here, then he should get squashed, right? And there's the dialogue sequence. But yeah, like I said before, wire the magic mouse to each other, not on a sequencer. That way the players can use read at their own pace. It's kind of like annoying when you just want to skip the dialogue, or if you're just trying to take your time. But like a sequencer is telling you how fast to read. Kind of sets it on. There's a short delay, and then the dialogue starts. When an enemy in both the player and nearby, then it plays a sound. And then this is the level link. And I already downloaded part 2 of the level. This is just the flicker logic for the light. Yeah, this is like the third flicker logic that we've seen today, so as y'all can see, there's like at least a few different ways to do it. But yeah, it just flickers the hologram on and off. Pretty much. So like one set to 0%, and the top one is set to 0% brightness and 50%. But yeah, now for part 2. And then after that, it's gonna be the last level. But yeah, this is the last level, and then after this, I'm gonna have to end the stream. So I have to get ready for school and stuff. I don't even have like a planner yet for this year. To get one soon. I don't even have a backpack for this year. I mean, this new semester. So I have to get that too. Like my old backpack has holes in it. So it was like, I guess it was cheap or something. I don't know. I need to get new notebooks. I only have like one notebook and I need 5. Okay, that's just pistons, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like I said, pistons. Oh, and the thing from the Avalonia is back. Yeah, this makes it spawn in this thing, so I'm gonna move this down so I can see it real time. But yeah, this makes it spawn in, and that countdown timer, what's that connected to? So the countdown timer is connected to that light. So there's like a glow effect. Wait, I'll see the, if I set it to PV mode, you can see it better. But yeah, for 0.2 seconds, it will put that glow effect. I think that's set to dimmer, so like it fades out. Yeah, it's set to dimmer. That pretty much makes it so instead of like flickering on and off, it like adds like a cool fade effect. But yeah, the bunny already appeared in another level. But yeah, it has the same attacks and everything. And then this already, like assembler thing already appeared in another level, yeah. It's pretty much just a slam attack. and then destroyer. So like when you're activating the slam attack, not just like going on it normally, but like when the slam attack is active, it gets destroyed, and it gives you points. And of course, it's had to explode. And this pretty much rigid connections makes it destroy both the neon or hologram or whatever, the neon, and that material. On the following light, it's really just a lookout follower. It's 90% strength. And I'm assuming I would have to use my slam attack on this. But yeah, press R1, I just want to see the logic beforehand. But yeah, the same logic as in part 1 of the level. Wait, what's the logic on this dude? Oh, these are just the sound effects. Oh, someone was asking about this logic on Reddit a few days ago. Not a few days ago, a couple of years ago. But yeah, it's pretty much just turning on both the tag and the hologram. Every few seconds or so. And it's on a sequencer apparently. I thought it was a timer, but either one works. So there's like a short delay. Let's see how much each thing is worth. Yeah, there's like a 1 second delay. And then this one, the first one, is connected to both the sound and the light. And then the second one, the second battery, is just connected to the orgy, I guess. Oh, that's connected to the, what's it called? The countdown thing. So for 0.2 seconds, this laser thing will activate. And the laser is 2 parts, the tag and then the actual visuals itself. The tag makes it so it's like danger. And it kills the vehicle, I mean the bunny thing. And then this just makes a plasma, so it looks dangerous. And that's what it looks like in preview mode. I think I lost the bunny. There was like spawn points in the Avalonia level. But this one has like 2 separate longer pieces for some reason. I guess it extends the laser. I don't know why they didn't just make it longer though, by sparing the material instead of extending it, but think this one right here does the staircase in order or whatever. But yeah, just like I said, it does the staircase in order. Yeah, pretty sure I'm supposed to have the laser, the bunny at this part. Oh, it finally spawned in.
That is how to get.
I don't know why it wasn't spawning at the other checkpoints. And then all these tags are dangerous, I guess.
That is how to get to the quarter.
And for some reason that next dialogue bit isn't playing, but either way. Let's look at their dialogue projects, same as before. Probably. Oh yeah, it ends the level, and level enders don't work in create mode, that's why. But either way, that's pretty much it. After the stream now, 'cause I have stuff to do to get ready for school. School starts for me on Wednesday, like the new semester. And I gotta get ready. So yeah, that's pretty much it. 6 levels, 'cause 6 story roads. I'll go back to my parts in this stream. Then I could do my outro in my part. Okay, but yeah, thank you for joining the stream. This is actually my last stream of my winter break schedule. I normally don't have a streaming schedule, but like since I was on winter break, I was able to. But yeah, after this, I'll be doing streams once a month, cause I'll be in school now. So yeah, today is my last winter break stream. After this, it's once a month. I don't know what days yet. It really depends on how much schoolwork I have. Cause I don't even have my planner for this year. I didn't even look at my syllabuses for any of the year. I mean, there's no point because I don't have a planner yet. I have to order on Amazon or whatever. But either way, and then after that, I'll be able to know which days I stream, and or like depends on like how hard each exam is. I don't even know what the exams are like for this semester yet. Like I think at least one of my exams allows a cheat sheet, so in that case, I wouldn't have to stress out if I have an exam for that class. But like if I have like 3 exams in a week, obviously I'm not gonna be streaming that weekend. But yeah, either way, hopefully I'll get my planner soon. I mean, Amazon ships like next day delivery if you have like Prime, which I think my mother does. She's not ordering nothing until I clean my room, so I gotta do that. It will take me like 5 minutes to clean my room. I've been working on it all week, and it's just boring at this point. But yeah. And then once I finish my planner, it's a little bit planner themed. I'll post it if it looks good. It should look good. It's cool. It's like 4 moons orbiting around the craft Earth. It's gonna look cool. But either way, and then maybe the pod at the bottom, like the rocket pod. You know, like the pod, the computer, like as a rocket heading towards the moons or like the planet. But yeah, last stream of winter break. Then one stream a month back to my normal schedule, since I have to focus on my grades. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining, and I hope y'all have a good rest of your day, and a good rest of your night, whatever time of day it is for you. And bye. See you maybe in a few weeks, either like a week or 2, or in a month, depending on how busy school is for me, and like what my exam schedule is like. But yeah, bye, and thank you for joining.